Explosion! Boom! Lots and lots of writing. Game of Thrones. George R. R. Martin. A Song of Ice and Fire. There's never really been a series quite as complex as this one, and yes, I haven't read that many fantasy books, but I do know a good one when I read it. Dance with Dragons is probably my favorite book of all time next to The Name of the Wind. Right? In this video, I want to discuss when I think House of the No, I just did that video. When I think Winds of Winter is going to be releasing and what's the holdup. Please, if you enjoy these kinds of videos, I haven't made one in a couple of weeks, slap a like on it. Like goal is going to be 420, and make sure you subscribe and turn those notifications all the way on. So that way you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video. Do have to wait for Winds of Winter and House of the Dragon Season 1, or as it's known on this channel, the Long Nights. Boom! Alright, so real quick, before I start this video, if you want some Winds of Winter theory videos to hold you over, I've actually been pumping out that kind of content recently, so check the link down below in the description and watch my Aegon is a real Targaryen theory, and also a Jon Snow glamour, right, Melisandre theory. Those are linked down below in the description. So basically, we have to realize, we haven't had an update on the progress of Winds of Winter in a while now, right? The last book came out in 2011. The Game of Thrones TV series has been off the air for 2 years now. Actually, 3 years. George is working away. He's writing for House of the Dragon. He's writing more Duncan Egg novels, and he's writing Winds of Winter. As a matter of fact, I'm positive. It's hard to explain, but unless you follow his Not a Blog post, you won't get what I'm saying. Every single time one of his close and dear friends dies, it's a reminder. Like he writes in Selmy's chapters, right? Like Barristan Selmy, the way that he's dealing with his age and failure and all this stuff, you could tell that George is reflecting his own personal experiences into that, right? So there's a moment where Barristan looks down at his reflection in the water and he doesn't even recognize it for a second. He's like, who the fuck is this, right? It's got wrinkles, he's got gray hair, he's got new wrinkles that he doesn't recognize himself. This, along with the fact that George is losing his friends left and right, is a reminder that death is coming. He does not want to leave an uncompleted work. He knows what happens when the story isn't finished. Now, it feels kind of weird to even talk about that because this is a person that I've never met before, but I feel like I know him because I've been involved in the A Song of Ice and Fire fandom for so long. Like, I feel like it's okay for me to say that because I'm such a big fan, but I don't mean anything personal. Like, I'm not one of those people who say, oh, you're going to die, fat man, hurry up and finish the book or else you're going to be a loser, right? I don't say that shit. I'm like literally a fanboy of him, so I'm trying to tread carefully here. But I think the reminder that the stranger comes for all of us in the end is going to push this Winds of Winter, the last little bit that he's writing, to come out. Now, there's obviously a Dream of Spring after that, but it makes sense with Martin writing his story in 3 parts that he's actually probably working on a Dream of Spring at the same time. For the most part, Dance with Dragons didn't even include all of the major POV characters, right? So Arya and Cersei only have a few of them. Sansa doesn't have any, and, you know, we might even be getting new POV characters in the Winds of Winter and a Dream of Spring. So all of that is the reason why it's taking so long. But Martin has to write the books at the same time because you may not find out what happens to a character until another POV person finds out about it, right? So we didn't know what happened to Mokoro, who is a priest of R'hllor. He can say shit and make flames dance out of the top of his staff. He ends up going overboard in one of Tyrion's POV chapters, and we don't find out what happens to him until Victarion's POV chapters, several pages later, right, in the book. Because of that, George, in order to conclude arcs properly, he has to write them at the same time, right? So, in my opinion, this is the reason why it's taking so long. Obviously, Game of Thrones slowed down his writing style. George probably thought that the show would still be on today, and maybe this is around the time that Winds would have came out, or maybe a few years ago he would have released it to allow Dan and Dave to use his source material to help them guide along to the finish, right? All of that aside, Wins a Winner is coming. If you want me to make more videos, well, the way to do that is by subscribing and turning your notifications on. I'd like to reach 100,000 subs by the time House of the Dragon comes out, or maybe even Wins a Winner. Please help me reach that goal. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Long Night Reviews. Oh, boom.